Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCal Saber. Thank you for stopping by. When I first started this music channel, I said I was going to do some of my CD box sets because I got a bunch of them just to show you what I have beside the weekly reviews where the albums and CDs. Well, it's been a while, and I got a new one I'm going to do here. And this is called, we're going to take a look at Amy Winehouse today. This is a 3 CD box set titled The Album Collection. This was released in 2012 following her death. So we're going to take a look. I'll tell you what, when I got attracted to her style and music. And the first album that we're going to take a look at is her debut album, Frank. It has 15 tracks, and the last 2 were hidden. Frank, that alludes to the tone, the lyrics on the album, as well as one of her influences, who was Frank Sinatra. Got some little books inside of here we'll be taking a look at. This is a jazzy, funk, soul, nice compilation of styles of music. And when you couple that with her raspy voice, it just makes it really nice for me anyway. Pretty nice little book in here. The album was well received upon release, but the critics. What did I say about the critics? It was well received by the critics, but in 2005, in an interview with Amy, she says she wasn't content with the way the label produced the album and promoted the album and so forth, and she wasn't real happy with it. This entered the UK albums chart at number 60 and climbed to number 13. And debuted at number 61 on the Billboard 200 here in the US. There's a picture of the inside behind this disc. Following her death, Frank was released again. And it re-entered the charts. It peaked at number 3 in the UK and number 33 in the US. So that's a big improvement over when it first came out. Okay, so that was the debut album, Frank, from Amy Winehouse. We're out looking at this collection, the Amy Winehouse, the album collection. That's the first one. So we continue on. Go down there and hit that like button. Let me know what you think of it. You liked Amy Winehouse or didn't like Amy Winehouse. All comments are much appreciated, good or bad. It doesn't matter. And let me know what you think of this collection. So the next one, this is the one that got my attention to Amy Winehouse. And it is Back to Black, released in October of 2006. And I'm sure that first single that she released, Rehab, which was a gigantic hit, was what got my attention and wanted me to hear more. So I bought this album and I wanted to hear more. I have this on another CD, by the way, and I wanted to hear more. So I started hunting. That's why the reason I got this collection. Just to add a little bit more to it. Yeah, Rehab. This was the second and final studio album by Amy. Like I said, I picked up this collection to get more material. At the time, I only had this CD. I have another CD of it to get more material because I really liked Amy Winehouse's voice. It really caught on with me. A lot of people have asked me if I had a favorite female artist. Well, I don't yet, but I have, since I was asked, I have started creating a list where I'm putting certain, as I'm listening to my music, certain women on the list. Amy is now on the list. The album is predominantly about her relationship with Blake Fielder Civil, who temporarily left her to pursue an ex-girlfriend. I shouldn't say I can relate to that, but I'll be honest with you, I can. This sold 20 million copies worldwide, became one of the best-selling albums of all time, in the UK's second best-selling album of the 21st century. Back to Black won the Grammy in 2008 as the best pop vocal album and was also named best pop vocal album and was also nominated for Album of the Year, which it didn't win, but it was nominated. At the same ceremony, Amy won 4 other awards, tying her with 5 other artists as the second most awarded female in a single ceremony. This is Back to Black, the one that made me a fan of her. Released in 2006. Then the last one was released after her death. And we all know that, you know, she joined the 27 Club, way too young. And this is called Lioness, Hidden Treasures, released in 2011, following her death in 2011 when she joined the 27 Club. This is a nice addition. It's a compilation of recordings from before the release of Winehouse's debut album, Frank, in 2020, up to the music she worked on in 2011. There's duets on here with the rapper Nas, N-A-S. I don't know how, Nas, however you say that, let me know which is the correct way if you know. And with Tony Bennett. And the duet with Tony Bennett also aired on one of his, or came up out on one of his albums. And this last one is going to fight me getting the little book out. As usual, the album was met with mixed reviews. I really think that these critics get together and they decide who's going to play big good cop and who's going to be bad cop on every album that comes out. You know, I don't know. But it debuted at number 1 on the UK charts and at number 5 on the Billboard 200. Some nice information about Amy. Body and Soul, Winehouse's final studio recording, was a duet with Tony Bennett, released in September 2011 in commemoration of what would have been Winehouse's 28th birthday. I think personally that this album is a fine compilation showing off Amy's other styles, such as with the duets and so forth. There are other styles of music. The the collection as a total, I think this is a very, very good collection. It's a small set of music capturing her entire career. And I'm very glad to have picked it up and so forth. So I wanted to thank you for coming by here today. This was a semi-deep dive into this CD box set titled Amy Winehouse, The Album Collections. SoCal Saber saying, take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other and stay safe.